Welcome back to the channel. This is the second video in the series where I'm opening up these Lord of the Rings Tales from Middle-earth draft boosters. Last draft booster we opened, we actually got a really powerful spider legendary creature. Yeah, pretty impressed with the first draw. Let's bust into pack number 2 and see what we can find. See if I can get them all out this time. Nope, still missed one. I'm going to have to work on my draw of these cards. We'll start with this one, Treason of Isengard. Let's see if I can bring that up for you. Put up to one target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. Amass 2 orcs. Hey, if you're trying to amass some orcs, definitely another good card to play. Interesting fact, if you do have the main Sauron card, he actually requires a water to cast, so you would actually use a little bit of water in your deck anyways. All right, next up we have Westfold Rider. Sacrifice Westfold Rider, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Fairly decent card for a 2 cast. You get a 3/1, and it can also destroy a artifact or enchantment. Pretty powerful. Add that to the group. Rally at the Hornburg. I am a really big fan of this artwork here. I mean, I've said it before, but the Lord of the Rings artwork, they took it to a new level when doing these cards. But Rally at the Hornburg is one of probably the more powerful cards in the game. It may not seem like it, but it says create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. Humans you control gain haste until end of turn. You can play this card. You get 2 human creature tokens out right away that can immediately attack. And then if you happen to play this card later to where, you had a stack of mana and you had some cheap human cards, you throw out 2 human cards plus these 2, suddenly you've got, upwards of 4 human cards able to attack on a single turn right out the gate. Very powerful for a 2 mana card. I've had a lot of success with this card, just doing speed attacks and hitting people quick. And if you're able to boost these with some sort of token boosters like Patchwork Banner, which will make all humans or soldiers up +1/+1. You can do a lot of damage with Rally at the Hornburg. Awesome to have drawn that. Mirror Guardian. Dwarf Soldier, 4/2 with a 3 mana cost. When the Guardian dies, the ring tempts you. Well, if you're looking for a ring tempting card in a green play, there you go, Dwarf Soldier. Next up, we have the Shelob's Ambush. I think we've already seen this one before. Target creature gets +1/+2 and gains Death Touch until end of turn. Create a food token. Can be useful for a 1 swamp mana cost. Pretty decent card. Throw that over there. Lorraine Revealed. Sorcery. Draw 3 cards. Island cycling on top of it. Yeah, if you're trying to get more cards into your hand, you're going to have to spend 5 mana to do it, but gets 3 cards in your hand. Personally, I think 5 mana spending is a little spendy, but not a bad card. Hobbit Sting. There we go. Instant, 2 mana cost. Hobbit Sting deals X damage to target creature, where X is the number of creatures you control plus the number of foods you control. So once again, that if you're using Peregrine Took and you're spamming food along with token creatures, and you have a bunch of creatures out on the field, this is a very powerful card when utilized properly. Birthday Escape. Sorcery. 1 water mana. Draw a card. The ring tempts you. Not exactly one I'd do. Again, I guess if you're using a ring tempting deck, might be somewhat useful, but that just kind of seems like a useless card filling up your deck. Moving on. Ooh, what do we got here? Uruk-hai Berserker. Creature, Orc Berserker. When Uruk-hai Berserker enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. 3 mana, 3/2. I mean, if you're building an Orc deck, maybe a decent addition, but not the most powerful of cards. Swamps. Shire Scarecrow, 2 mana cost. Artifact creature Scarecrow, Defender, 0/3. As far as Defender goes, 0/3s aren't the best. They'll block early on, but for the most part, they're almost essentially useless. 1 mana, add 1 mana of any color. So if you're doing a multicolored deck, you could, tap a forest and play a fire or whatever the case may be. Decent card. Better than some other defenders I've seen out there. Shortcut to Mushrooms. Enchantment. When Shortcut to Mushrooms enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Okay. I mean, you can spam some decent +1/+1 counters out of this. A fairly decent card. I like that one. Sauron's Trickery. Instant. Counter target spell for 3 mana. Yeah, that's a decent mana cost for a counter spell. And you amass 1 orc. Once again, if you're playing a Sauron deck and you're playing some waters, this is a decent one for amassing some orcs. Frodo Baggins. We got the Frodo. All right, legendary creature. Halfling Scout. When Frodo Baggins or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, the ring tempts you. As long as Frodo is your ring bearer, it must be blocked if able. If you're able to throw some enchantments and maybe some equipments onto Frodo, this might be a decent card, but at a 1/3, I mean, it's only a 2 mana cost, but still as a 1/3, being the ring bearer, it must be blocked if able. I guess it could be a good distraction card, but be prepared to sacrifice it. All right, we'll add Frodo to our legendaries we've pulled. And the Witch King of Agmar. I believe we had this in the starter deck as well, but whenever 1 or more creatures deals combat damage to you, each opponent sacrifices a creature that dealt combat damage to you this turn. The ring tempts you. Discard a card. Witch King of Agmar gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. So yeah, if somebody's trying to destroy the Witch King of Agmar, you just discard a card and tap it, and it'll stay in the battlefield. Legendary creature, Wraith Noble, 5 mana cost, 5/3. With the flying. As far as flying creature goes, a 5/3 is pretty powerful. If this were non-flying, I'd say not the best. If you're going to cast 5 mana, I definitely want more than 3 defense, but in the flying realm, pretty good card. Put that over there. And then they gave us a swamp card and the ring. So this would be when the ring tempts you, I believe. Your ring bearer is legendary and can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. Whenever your ring bearer attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever your ring bearer becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller sacrifices it at the end of combat. So, as you get tempted by the ring, these happen. So this is at 1, 2, 3. And then the final one, when your ring bearer deals combat damage to a player, each opponent loses 3 life. So, at the end of the day, the ring bearer can do some powerful stuff. So choose wisely with who you give it to. And every time the ring tempts you, the ring drops. And you got to put it on somebody. So nice little pull off of pack number 2. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.